Hello, great people. The arrest of popular activist Fayose, otherwise known as VeryDarkMan, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in alleged connivance with GTB is generating a lot of controversy. The masses are not taking it lightly. There's been massive condemnation for EFCC, and some people are threatening to close their account. Some have even emptied their account. But the good thing is that the advocacy for his release is not only limited to the Nigerian masses. The political and ruling elite are also speaking up. Superstar Davido is advocating for his release and leading a protest, a massive protest for the release of VeryDarkMan is the junior brother of the former governor of Ekiti State in the person of Isaac Fayose. In a moment, I'll leave you to hear from Isaac Fayose. Then when we come back, we'll be dissecting the issues. For some of you that have reached out to me that, Dr. Deji, we want to hear your perspective about this VeryDarkMan issue, well, I appreciate your reaching out. And I got you covered on this episode. I will be picking it from three sides, from the angle of the EFCC, from the angle of VeryDarkMan, and from the angle of GT Bank. We'll be dissecting the issues while I will be displaying some pictures that are relevant to the discourse as regards people that are emptying their account, the advocacy for his release, the banner that were being posted. I'll be attaching it to this video while we analyze the issue. But first, let us go and watch the video of Isaac Fayose. Then we'll come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
If they can hold VDM, they can hold you, hold your papa, hold your mama. Is that a country? Is that the country you want? A country that you can't speak up? The country that you can't do anything? It better make them lock all of us up. That make you stay quiet for your house. Make you no speak up. Look at wetin ordinary Natasha woman, oh, look at wetin she do for Kogi. She stood her ground. And you dey there. You say you are online. You are rattle. Your rattle must come out. Tuesday, if we don't hear anything from EFCC, by Tuesday, all of us should be on the streets. The country belongs to us. If we don't come out, forget next election. It's gone.
There you have it. You just watched the video of the advocacy for the release of VeryDarkMan and threat to protest by Isaac Fayose, the junior brother of the former governor of Ekiti State, Peter Ayodele Fayose. Maybe I will make a compilation of some of his strong assertions and the dirty secret that he exposed about Nigeria's political circle, and I will share it with you in a later episode. That's why if you are yet to subscribe, of course, do well to subscribe to this channel and tell whoever needs to know that this is the channel to be. Now, let us go to the issue of VeryDarkMan. How did it happen? You will recall that Fayose, otherwise known as VeryDarkMan, complained that GT Bank has been deducting money from the account of his mother. And when he made that complaint on social media, he went to the bank to lodge an official complaint. And in the process of exiting the bank, he was allegedly locked up in the bank and the security door of the bank, and all of a sudden when he was let out of the door, the EFCC reportedly came and picked him up. And this has generated a lot of controversy because people are saying that EFCC acted in connivance with GTB. Now, what are the issues as regards this? First, let me pick it from the angle of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. You covered his face, VDM's face, in the front of his mother, because it is believed that since VDM is not the owner of the account and is not a signatory to the account, he would have gone to the bank with his mother. And at the bank, definitely would have left the bank with his mother. So the EFCC picking him up at that point in time, and as it was reported that they covered his face, that means they did that in the presence of his mother. And that is a very sad thing, because you would have left the mother traumatized, in the sense that you get pikin, your pikin decide to go fight for you. Your pikin don't dey fight for other people. You don't dey deliver other people. Now it is your turn, and your pikin made an innocent appearance at the bank to lodge a complaint for explanation as regards why your money is being deducted. And all of a sudden, the EFCC came, and they kind of like covered his face, throw him inside the van like a criminal and zoom up. You can imagine if VeryDarkMan's mother has high blood pressure or any form of disease, definitely you would have aggravated the situation of that woman. So for me, the conduct of the EFCC, particularly in a country whereby people commit a lot of atrocities, definitely the conduct of EFCC leaves so much to be desired. Then, knowing that VeryDarkMan is a popular figure, the EFCC should have taken it upon itself to communicate to the Nigerian people, because definitely the commission exists for the Nigerian people and they hold their accountability to the Nigerian people. Definitely they would have known that this is a public spirited case, this is a public interested case. So you just keeping quiet, definitely it will kind of like generate a lot of controversy, and it will leave a lot of vacuum, a lot of gap for people to fill in whatever they want in that particular gap. And in a country that Yaya Bello, escaped the EFCC and they are playing, cat and rat, in a country where Ifeanyi Okowa allegedly stole over 1 point something trillion naira. Now he has joined the APC, is working free in a country where a lot of politically exposed persons, Willie Obiano, you can name them, hundreds of them are working free. Then an activist that has been speaking against your operation, that has been exposing some of the shady deals in your organization, you now give him that particular treatment. That is very sad. And if you look at it, the way they treated VDM, if it were to be one or more Sholadeji that went to GTB, I doubt if I would be treated like that. So I think that there is some kind of like what they usually call beef. There is some kind of like annoyance against the personality of EFCC based on the outburst of Martin Ose, otherwise known as VDM. And one thing that I see is that I see this as a proxy war against VDM. If you want to fight him directly if he has offended you, because the way he's being treated, the way the EFCC is silent, I see it as a proxy war. You know that VDM, in the course of his advocacy, is not in good terms with some people. For instance, he has called out Seyi Tinubu, the notorious son of the president. He has called out Abike Dabiri, the chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. He has called out Mercy Chinwo, the popular gospel singer. He has called out Dr. Ruben Abati, the veteran journalist. So some of these people, they may have strong ties or strong link in EFCC. So the way he's been treated, I see it as a situation whereby it is not just about the case of the GTB. I see it as a form of proxy war against VDM, that there are some people that are under the water that are beating the drum for what is happening to him. So what I can say is that if you are a person of influence and power, don't be a coward. You don't like VDM, come out and fight him directly. Don't use EFCC, don't hide under the shadow of what happened between VDM and GTB. Fight the war or the battle you have with him, fight him directly. Now to the GTB. You see, GT banks and most Nigerian banks are inefficient, and that's the truth. And you see, when Nigeria itself is an inefficient country and you are expecting GT Bank to operate with efficiency, you will be deceiving yourself. And I've said it before to some of my friends that when you go into a country, if you want to know how a particular sector is, if you don't have much idea about that sector, look at other sectors, and the result you get in other sector will give you what to expect in another sector. In the sense that if you look at Nigeria, the infrastructure is almost zero. The education is not affordable, not available, and it is not qualitative. If you also look at the healthcare, it is nothing to write home about. Look at the governance itself. The governance is such a disgrace at most levels of governance. So if you look at it, based on that level, you will not expect that the banking sector will be a perfect sector. The imperfection, the inefficiency that you see in other sectors, expect it in the banking sector. The impunity that you witness in other sector, expect it also in the banking sector. And that is why I'm not surprised about the operation of GT Bank. Somebody owed me 50,000 some time ago. The person at his own time sent the money to me, and I received less than the amount that was sent to me. I received 49,000 or thereabout, and I was shocked that is this person playing on my intelligence. When I checked, I realized that the person sent 50,000 naira, but when the money entered my account, miraculously, strangely, GTB has deducted for whatever reason. And if you want to know how banks are making money, just 1 naira alone from all their customers is big money. If banks deduct just 1 naira from their customers, it is a lot of money. So all these shady deals must stop. And what we cannot rule out, sincerely, in fairness to GTB, we cannot rule out the apparent illiteracy of VDM's mother. And with profound respect to her, she's a great woman because she has given birth to a great son. And I'm not using this to spite her, because I have aunts that are not super educated. In fact, if you give my mother any strong sentence to read, you just want to cause trouble. So with profound respect to her, but then the illiteracy may be kind of like something that bring about this issue, because you may have a situation whereby somebody may just borrow her phone and they will use the phone. She may kind of like be a little bit careless with her NIN or her BVN and all that. So we cannot rule out that it may be as a result of either the apparent illiteracy or what they call loose guard on the part of VDM's mother. But in any case, the way VDM has been treated is not good enough. And one thing on the part of VDM, I've touched on EFCC, I've touched on GTB, I've touched on VDM's mother. Now, on VDM himself, you see, I believe that VDM shouldn't have rushed to social media. In the sense that when something happened and the next place you go to is the social media, you are abusing your influence as an influencer. You are abusing your platform, because what if you are not a popular person? When something happens, the first thing to do is to approach the institution that is affected. And when the matter is not resolved to satisfaction, or the matter is not resolved, definitely you can then come to social media. But then if something happens as regards your mother's account and the first place you rush to is the social media, you are doing a lot of harm to that particular brand. Because whether we like it or not, GTB is a brand that has existed for so many years, and you should be reasonable enough to know that as an influencer, as a public figure, if you come out to just say a word against the bank, that can ruin the bank, that can ruin the patronage of that particular bank. So you don't abuse the popularity that you have. You are forced to first approach the institution. So I blame VDM in that regard, because your one statement from you can destroy the brand of the bank effortlessly. And don't forget that when the bank of the branch is destroyed, it will affect the stock people have invested in the bank. GT Bank does not belong to one person. They have people that have bought stocks of the bank. They have people that are doing business with the bank, that the profit that they will gain is an oxygen in nursery for them. You have people that are patronizing the bank at personal level and at corporate level, and even at international level. You have employees of the bank that run into thousands of people. So you need to consider this. That's why you don't rush to social media as a public figure. So the way VDM started it, I am not really in tune with it. And that's why I've said it before, that VDM needs a lot of a kind of like branding. It needs a kind of like more orientation in the way he goes about this is advocacy, because definitely you should know that anything that he does can ruin the image of the bank, and people will lose money if the bank collapses. People will lose money, and it is not sure that Nigerian government will compensate them. But then again, the protest being led by Fayose is in order. Government will act fast because they fear protest. They will act very, very fast. The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not like protest, and they know that the protest can escalate into other things, and it can begin to unearth different grievance from the masses. So I think this will be resolved in the earliest possible time. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.